Hello and welcome to yet another episode of What to Pick. This is the video series where I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And today we start off with a hand which is a decision between Mining Guild and Terractor. Terractor is definitely generally better than Mining Guild, so let's go with that for now. Okay, so Great Aquifer is probably the best prelude for Mining Guild, because you can place these two oceans on steel and titanium and get insane steel production right from the get-go. Also, it's free tiles. A lot of tile placement cards Mining Guild can't really use in the first gen because you only start off with 30 mega credits and you also want to pick up some cards. So placing tiles for free with a prelude is really, really strong. And other than that, I think mining operations is not necessary. You will end up the first generation with at least 3 steel prod after you placed Great Aquifer, so you don't need more steel prod, that's quite sure. But UNMI Contractor and Acquired Space Agency are both quite good. I tend to go towards ASA. Normally I think UNMI Contractor is a bit better, but you get more starting capital with this, and Mining Guild certainly could use a little bit more starting capital. So let's see what we have here on hand. Okay, Lava Flows is another tile, and you can place this either on Pavonis or Tharsis Tholos to get another steel prod. Probably you'd rather place it on Pavonis, it's a better tile. Don't really need Mineral Deposit, especially because we don't really see a lot of steel targets here. That's a bit sad for Mining Guild actually. I'd also pick up imported hydrogen. You can think about picking up plants with that and get 5 plants. Or you can think about placing this on the card ocean to get 2 cards and 3 plants. And what else do we have here? We have a lot of plant tags here. Farming is way too late, and Adapted Lichen is really, really bad. But you could think about picking up bushes, especially with Immigrant City and imported hydrogen on hand. But it's so-so. With the Mining Guild you don't have a lot of starting capital. So, and if you want to play Lava Flows, then maybe don't pick up bushes. But I'd certainly pick up Immigrant City and probably Heat Trappers, because this powers up Immigrant City, and Immigrant City is a really good city to play in the early game because you will profit from it throughout the game, and it's pretty cheap. Yeah, I'd probably pick only these 4 cards, and definitely these 2 preludes. We draw 2 more cards with this, and also this gives us 6 titanium, which we can use on imported hydrogen. Or on other space tags that we might draw with that. You could still think about UNMI Contractor. You could make this work because this gives you income, which is also really, really great with Mining Guild. You also draw a card, so probably it's maybe even a little bit better than Acquired Space Agency. I don't think that you need the titanium. Let's see. If we pick up these 4 cards, we end up with 18 cash. We want to play Lava Flows in the first gen, but we can do that with 18 cash, of course. But in that case, we end up only with 6 more cash to play imported hydrogen, but we could delay that 1 gen. But if you want to pick up the cards, then you want to play it in the first gen immediately. But it's also risky. The other guys could also have an ocean prelude, or we are not first here, we're only second place. The first player could also have an ocean, normal ocean card, and go before you. So yeah, it's really up to you if you want to go with ASA or UNMI Contractor, but I think Aquifer is must pick. So I tend to go like this and then go from there. Okay, I think this is a great Mining Guild starting hand. And there's not much reason to pick Terractor here because there are not a lot of great cards here on hand. And so you don't need the starting capital. But let's get to the next hand. Alright, the next starting hand is between UNMI and Phobolog, and I really like UNMI, so let's go with that for now. Okay, we have some really good money production here. Allied Bank and Business Empire together is insane. You end up with 10 cash prod in the first gen. If you pick UNMI, then maybe you would like to exchange maybe Business Empire for Polar Industries to get a bump immediately. And the seed prod can also be really nice for UNMI, but let's see what we have on our starting hand here. Okay, two really big titanium targets here, which speaks for Phobolog. And sadly no heat prod to combo with that Polar Industries. We have Towing a Comet, which is another bump for UNMI, but it's really expensive. This looks more like a Phobolog hand, actually. And with Phobolog, there's really no reason to pick up Polar Industries, so I think Allied Bank and Business Empire is really, really good. You end up with only 20 cash then, so you can't pick up a lot of cards. But you definitely want to pick up these two here. And Towing, because that's another titanium target, and you end up with some titanium prod here on Phobos and Space Elevator. And then you can go from there. Small Animals is a good card. Standard Tech is fine. I'd probably also pick up Fuel Generators just to have some power prod on hand if I maybe need any later down the line. Good debate about Standard Tech. Maybe you don't want to pick this up. We have 40 cash here with our titanium. Playing this. 28. You could overpay by 1 titanium. 28. What's... No, I can't calculate. Jesus. Yeah. Problem is, if you pick up these 6 cards, you end up with only 2 cash left. 20, 24, 28. Yeah, you could overpay by 1 then on Space Elevator. That's alright, I guess, to get this down. Or you could just play Phobos. The problem is you don't have steel to sell Space Elevator. Yeah, that's not worth it then, playing it immediately. But playing Phobos is alright. Or some titanium prod. I'd really like to get some steel. You could also exchange Business Empire for Polar Industries and place it on steel up here, but I think that's not worth it. I'd rather go with Business Empire, Allied Bank, pick up these huge titanium targets, Small Animals, Standard Tech, and these two, and then just play Phobos in the first gen. You can pay with 8 titanium and 1 cash. You have 2 cash left, so that works out. And then in the second gen, you could place Towing on steel and play Space Elevator, for example, or maybe pick up some other way to get steel, which would be really nice to get this Space Elevator going. But I'd definitely pick this up because you will have titanium prod with these two, and that's really important with Phobolog. How to get steel, you can think about that later. So yeah, I think I'd go like this. Let's get to the last hand. Alright, the last hand is a decision between Valley Trust and Saturn Systems. And you all know how much I like Valley Trust, so let's go with this call for now. And let's see what we have here. Okay, Business Empire is always great for the production, and maybe we have some power prod cards or some power hungry cards that use power. Okay, well, we have Lava Tube Settlement, but that one sucks. Oh my god, okay. We have kelp farming and we have ecology experts, so we have to pick this. And then we could either go for Business Empire or Nitrogen Shipment. I mean, Nitrogen Shipment is not really great. But it gives you 1 TR, which is 1 cash prod, and it gives you 5 cash instead of subtracting 6. The problem here is Ecology Experts demands that you play kelp farming immediately, and that's quite expensive. So you end up with not a lot of cash, only 20 cash after playing kelp farming, and then you also have to subtract the cash from picking up cards. So you could think about picking up Nitrogen Shipment instead of Business Empire, but let's go with Business Empire. But still, this plant prod combos really well with the plant prod on Eco Experts and on kelp farming, so we will think about that. Probably pick up Quantum because we will likely play some science text with Valley Trust. This corp likes to play science text because of our effect. Let's just play science text for cheaper. Demos Down is a really good card. Definitely pick that up. And then for sure kelp farming. You play that with Eco Experts immediately. You can think about, so Ironworks immediately is devalued heavily when you play kelp farming Gen 1. So do not think about picking up this. You could think about hired raiders. I wouldn't pick up these two. Phobos is just too expensive. We don't have titanium. We don't have any combo potential with this other than quantum, and that's just not worth it. Rover construction, yeah, we're not swimming in cash, so we don't need to pick this up. You could think about GHG producing bacteria because the oxygen will go up quite fast with kelp farming. So you could think about this as also in science tech. Let's say we pick this up. And we can also think about lava tube because we will place a lot of greeneries quite fast. But I'd rather just ocean walk with my greeneries next to the oceans here in the north, rather than placing them around a city here. I would probably, if I picked lava tube, I would place it here and then place my greeneries around to get some plant placement bonuses, but I'd rather get some ocean rebates up here. So yeah, so basically I think you would pick up these 5 cards, and the only decision which is interesting still is here between Business Empire and Nitrogen Shipment. Nitrogen Shipment I ranked in my original Prelude tier list in F tier together with Society Support, and I still stand behind the decision on Society Support and F tier. That Prelude is just garbage. But Nitrogen Shipment has grown a bit on me. If you play early plant prod, then this plant prod on the card here can be quite nice. On its own, it's really bad. But if you have combo potential, either if you're Ecoline or you have something like Archaebacteria on hand, or in this case where you play Eco Expert on kelp farming, the plant prod can really help you. And then you get 1 MC prod and this 5 cash, which is quite nice. But yeah, Business Empire is also really strong. So yeah, it's up to you. Let's say we go with Nitrogen Shipment and we pick up these 5 cards, and then we just immediately play kelp farming, which is really good. And because we're Valley Trust, let's just go through this first gen. Of course, these guys are AIs, and see what other prelude we get. Okay, the AI plays Chongqing Mars and Mining Guild, picks up 2 cards here. And we play Eco Experts and kelp. And we play nitrogen. As you can see, we are really short on cash. Only 10 cash after playing kelp. Yeah, Biolab would have been a really good prelude as well for us. Again, that's 1 more plant prod, and we draw 3 cards, which is nice. Okay, there's IO Mining. So let's see what prelude we get. There's that Society Support. Yeah, that's really not worth it. Okay, these are not the most amazing preludes, but I'd probably pick up Self-Sufficient Settlement. Because, again, we will be placing greeneries here a lot. And with Self-Sufficient Settlement, we can place it probably here, which gets us up to 3 plants. Next gen, we are leading off, and we will have 8 plants, and then we can start placing greeneries around this amazing city up here. So yeah, I think Self-Sufficient Settlement is the best choice here. Also that cash prod really helps out. And then probably we just pass the first gen, and then next gen we start placing greeneries, and we hope that we get some few good cards from the draft. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I think this last hand was really exciting. You don't often get the chance to play kelp farming Gen 1, and this is just amazing. So yeah, I hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Also, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream Terraforming Mars every week. So yeah, see you in the next video. Have a good one. Goodbye.